Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra. Well, we're discussing earnings, and with me is a very special guest joining in. Ms. Vibha Padalkar joins in. She's the MD and CEO of HDFC Life. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you so much. Appreciate you joining in on Business Today TV. Let me kickstart by saying it's been a good quarter again. So congratulations to you for that. Help us with some of the details and some key highlights that you've noted, especially in terms of growth, in terms of specific verticals in this quarter.
Yeah, so thank you for having me here. Overall, if you were to look at all our channels, we registered a growth resulting in overall growth that we see of about 6% growth. Last year, we grew by 40%, so there was a base effect. But total AP growth was 8%. This is including group. We were very much in line with industry growth against this coming out of the pandemic. Our market share continued to be fairly strong and being able to hold our market share both in the individual space and in the overall, including LIC. Our distribution channels continued to be diversified, and each one of our channels tracked good growth. Also, some of our key focus areas like annuity business continued to trend well. Our quality of business, so persistency, 13-month persistency was held at about 87%, 61st month persistency at 54%. During the quarter, our assets under management crossed the watermark of 2 lakh crore. So that again was a milestone for us. Yeah. And we ended with all of this as profit after tax showing a fairly robust growth of 12%. Again, if you remember, first couple of quarters for the sector, we were snowed under with COVID claims. So really coming out of that and having a fairly robust quarter is how we ended. And our embedded value overall on a standalone basis was just about 30,000 crore. And a return on embedded value for the full year was 19%.
Okay, understood that. Since you've been talking about the challenges of COVID, we of course understand that for the insurance industry, it's been a very, very tough 2 years that we've seen so far. So for the financial year 2022, if you could quantify for us, what has been the impact of COVID on your business?
Yeah. So a couple of things here. If you were to look at the rupee amount, we paid close to 818 crores due to COVID. If you were to look at the number of lives, about 15,000 lives, purely those that were tagged as COVID. We are fairly happy that now we are coming out into a more normalized trend of mortality experience, and hopefully, even if there's a next wave, it should be fairly reasonably mild. We did settle close to 4 lakh claims during the year, 3.9 to be precise. And also the excess mortality reserve that we are carrying forward as of 31st of March is about 55 crores, just to be a little bit more cautious.
Yeah. So the claims you talked about, how do they compare with the previous years, and were they abnormally high in this year?
Yes, they were abnormally high. They were about 4x to 6 times the normalized claims. And that's why the kind of numbers that you see. And if you remember, right at the beginning, we set up a reserve of 700 crores. We periodically, over the next two quarters, increased it and ended the year with carrying forward 55 crores. So yes, they were very, very high, and not just for us, but overall for the sector. And I'm very happy that as a sector, we have managed to come out of this by settling our COVID claims. Our regulator has been tracking that there are no unreasonable delays in settlement of COVID claims. And solvency has largely been intact for the sector. So I think a fairly good responsibility that has been shouldered by the sector.
Absolutely. The sector has definitely shown the resilience it has over this trying time and unprecedented situations as well. But as we move forward, of course, like you also pointed out, that we hope that the next wave, if it all comes, is going to be milder. But what's the kind of preparation that you as a sector and industry and also as a company are doing for the upcoming uncertain waves?
While if there's another wave that is as disastrous as Delta wave, there isn't very much that we can do to fully insulate ourselves. However, I think what we are getting increasingly better at tracking is early warning indicators to see which way the trends are panning out. The second aspect is that if we start seeing elevated claims like we did in first quarter, we would be the first ones to raise our antenna to say that we are experiencing something that is over and beyond our actuarial assumptions. But hopefully, even if there's a next wave, it is even milder than the third wave, the Omicron wave. That's our hope anyway.
Okay. What's going to be the growth strategy going forward from here, ma'am, for you? Also, if you could help us understand which verticals of yours will be the key growth drivers going forward from here.
So if you look at the last 2 years, we've had a CAGR of 17% when the industry actually grew by 9%. So we've had close to 2x of industry growth over the 2 years of the pandemic. Even before that, our growth has been in a very similar zone. So we remain reasonably optimistic to be able to end FY23 with a similar level of growth. This is not counting in our recent acquisition of Exide Life. This is just on a standalone basis. Also, if you were to look at anticipated GDP growth, whether it's 8.5%, typically our sector has managed to clock 2x of GDP, if not higher, and we should be able to beat the sector growth as well. Just digressing a little bit, I want to make a mention here that it's been about 4.5 years post our listing. This was in FY18. And since then, almost every metric, whether you take new business premium or renewal premium or how our protection has grown or how our embedded value or assets under management or value of new business, all these metrics have doubled over these 4 years. So we feel as a scorecard of since listing, that's what's been the trajectory so far, the next 4 years should be as good, if not better.
Okay, hopefully on that, for sure. We are hoping for that and the maximum growth coming in for all your verticals coming in for there. But I also wanted to understand from you, ma'am, on the premium front, is there any plan to hike the premium rates going forward from here?
Nothing as of now, nothing that's planned. We did take a rate hike in January, and we are hopeful that at these rates, we are able to grow our protection. We are targeting double-digit protection growth. This is in the retail protection. Credit Life has been doing exceptionally well. We grew by about 55% over last year. That kind of growth trends, at least in comfortable double digits, should be seen. So that will grow. But even our individual protection, we will grow at extent rates.
Okay. Last question to you, ma'am. We are seeing a whole lot of consolidation and M&A really happening in the industry at large. For you, especially, if there is any inorganic growth opportunity on cards, could you share with us?
Right now, we are in the midst of a merger. And just happy to share that we have filed with NCLT less than 7 days ago. And we are hopeful that over the next 2-3 months, we should be able to completely consummate the merger. So we are somewhat focused right now on Exide Life complete merger. Beyond that, once that is done and dusted, we will continue to look at new inorganic opportunities like we have done in the past. But as of now, the focus is on getting Exide Life into our fold.
Okay, understood that. Well, on that note, I want to thank you, ma'am, for sharing all the insights with all our viewers, and all the very best to you for the coming quarters as well.
Thank you so much.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share, and subscribe.